The gavel bangs down, resounding in the anxious courtroom. Gasp waves through the room as sister wives confront one another, not as family, but as bitter enemies. Secrets will be revealed, lies unraveled, and allegiances pushed to the limit in ways nobody could have foreseen. What goes on when love, religion, and betrayal collide in the witness stand? Stay with me, because this isn't just a trial. This is the moment everything they built starts to fall apart. And before we get started, ask me in the comments. If you had to trust one of them, Christine, Robyn, Janelle, or Meri, who do you think would hold up in court? The echo of footsteps rings in the marble corridor. Christine holds her folder slightly tighter, the knuckles white, her heart pounding. She's entered dozens of family meetings in the past. But this is different. This isn't a living room with cushy couches and strained silences. This is a courtroom, cold, hard, and full of strangers, eager to pick apart her life. The judge has yet to appear, but the atmosphere is thick with tension. Across from Kody sits his golden-haired curls, slicked back, jaw set, eyes fixed forward as though he's already triumphant. Robyn whispers close to his ear, her eyes glancing nervously at Christine and Janelle. Their bond is obvious, husband and wife, a united force like a shield. Across from them, Christine gets into her seat next to Janelle. The two women share a glance. No words are necessary. That glance speaks volumes. We can't turn back now. The bailiff calls out, all rise. The room shifts, everyone stands. And in that one gesture, the battle officially begins. Stay with me, because what's about to happen is not merely a legal battle. It's the disintegration of everything this family ever said they stood for. The judge, a gray-haired woman with keen eyes, sits down. You may be seated, she states. Her voice is serene, but authoritative. The sort that can quiet an entire room without her needing to raise it. Christine's attorney stands first. He is tall, with glasses that reflect light when he talks. Your Honor, today we stand here because my client, Kody Brown, asks for sole custody of her children. What we plan to establish is that her former husband, Mr. Kody Brown, has consistently defaulted on his duties, practiced favoritism, and permitted manipulation by his new wife, Robyn Brown, to destabilize the well-being of the children. Gasps echo through the courtroom. Robyn's head drops, her face flushing. Kody refuses to believe it, shaking his head in a bitter smile, as if he knew this would happen, but still can't comprehend. Christine had the nerve to utter these words. Kody's attorney stands quickly. His voice is smooth, bordering on too sure of himself. Your Honor, what we will demonstrate is that Christine has manufactured complaints from bitterness. Mr. Brown has been a good father, committed to all his children. This is not a case of neglect. It is a case of bitterness, jealousy, and Christine's refusal to honor the framework of this family. Christine exhales sharply. She wants to shout structure, what structure? But she keeps her eyes on the judge. And here's where it gets interesting. Because behind every legal argument lies years of emotional scars waiting to erupt. The judge nods. We'll proceed with opening testimony. Christine steps into the witness stand. For a moment, she simply sits there, hands clasped together, the silence drawn out too long. At last, she glances at her attorney, and he nods to her almost imperceptibly. Christine, he says, why do you think custody should be granted to you? Her voice shakes to begin. Because my children need stability. For years, I have tried to hold our family together. I smiled for cameras. I played that we were together. But behind closed doors, Kody didn't show up anymore. Not physically, but emotionally. He favored people, he favored Robyn's children. Her words hover in the air like a thundercloud. Some in the audience squirm. Christine goes on, firmer now. My daughters pleaded with him for attention. They cried at night questioning why their father would not see them. And when I requested that he be there, he blamed me for poisoning them against him. That is not fatherhood. That is abandonment. Robyn suddenly erupts. That's not true. The judge bangs the gavel. Mrs. Brown, you will be quiet unless you are called to speak. Robyn leans back, eyes shining with tears. Here are the initial fissures that once expanded, cannot be reversed. Kody finally stands up. He adjusts his tie and clears his throat, his face hard but unruffled. I've loved all my kids. He starts. All of them. If I was at Robyn's place more, it was because she included me. She valued me. Christine? She undermined me. She poisoned the kids' minds, got them thinking I didn't care. And now she's trying to take them away from me altogether. You've seen and Robyn and Janelle. He pauses, scanning the room as if daring anyone to disagree. I won't let her rewrite the story. I've given my life to this family. Everything I've done was for them. Christine shakes her head, her jaw tight. Janelle leans closer, whispering, he's twisting everything. The tension is unbearable. The judge calls for a recess. Christine slowly stands up, her gaze never wavering from Kody's. For a split second, the din of the courtroom fades away, and it seems there's only the two of them engaged in a wordless standoff. And this is just the tip of the iceberg, because the next witness will turn the trial around completely. At recess, the whispering runs down the hall. Fans of the family's former reality show recognize the faces, some of them shocked to see this soap opera spill into a courtroom. Janelle finally chimes in. Christine, you ready for what's going to happen next? Because you know Robyn always has something up her sleeve. Christine nods. Let her try. I'm not going home this time. The bailiff summons everyone back into court. As Christine and Janelle enter inside, Kody and Robyn sit huddled together, whispering. Robyn holds a pile of papers, her hands shaking. She's both nervous and firm, as if she's carrying a gun no one else anticipates. The session concludes with a chill in the air. The judge pronounces, "We will hear from Robyn Brown tomorrow." Christine slowly breathes out. She knows this is the quiet before the storm. Because when Robyn takes the stand, the entire case could shift in an instant. The courtroom is colder today. The air is crisp, dense, as if the walls themselves have sensed that a storm is going to erupt. Christine sits bolt upright, though her fingers curl nervously in her lap. Next to her, Janelle hunches forward, whispering, "No matter what she says, stay calm." Christine nods, but her gaze doesn't leave the bulky folder in Robyn's hands. Whatever is inside, Christine is sure it isn't paper. It's a tool. All rise, the bailiff says. The judge walks in, the room falling silent. We will now hear from Mrs. Robyn Brown, she says. Robyn steps to the stand, her movements small but purposeful. She places the folder on the table in front of her, and slides into her chair with shaking hands. When she attempts to raise her right hand to take the oath, her voice breaks. "I do," the judge motions. "You may proceed." Robyn's attorney draws near. His voice is soothing, paternal, as if talking to a delicate bird. "Robyn, can you explain to the court, in your own words, what you've seen about Mr. Brown's fathering?" Robyn breathes unsteadily. "Kody is a good dad. He's always been a good dad. But Christine built walls. She poisoned the kids against him, got them to believe lies. I watched it happen." Christine's heart races. Her fists clench. Robyn goes on, crying tears down her face. "I recall one evening, Kody wanted to meet the children. He asked Christine if he could come by, and she said no. She said the children didn't want him around. But I knew that wasn't true. I saw how she manipulated things." A murmur runs through the courtroom. Christine shakes her head violently, muttering, "That's not what happened." Here are stories that conflict, and the courtroom will have to determine whose truth is more credible. Christine's attorney rises. "Mrs. Brown, you've made serious allegations. Do you have evidence?" Robyn's shaking ceases. Her expression turns hard. Slowly, with deliberation, she extends a hand for the folder. She sets it down on the desk with a gentle thud and pushes it toward the judge. "These are messages," Robyn states. "Text between the children and Christine. Evidence that she urged them to stay away from their father. Evidence that she instigated this whole schism." Christine's breath freezes. "That's a lie," she exclaims, standing up. The judge bangs her gavel. "Order, Mrs. Brown. Calm down." Christine lowers herself back into her seat, her cheeks burning with anger. She glances over at Janelle, speaking barely above a whisper. She's taking everything out of context. Those texts, they don't mean anything. The judge rummages through the documents, her face impassive. The courtroom holds its breath, everyone hanging forward. Robyn's attorney smiles slightly, sensing triumph. Your Honor, may I read one? Go ahead, the judge says. Robyn's attorney drapes a sheet aside. His voice booms. He's not arriving, and that's for the best. We don't require him to bring us joy. That was received from Christine's phone by her daughter. A murmur of astonishment comes from the audience. Christine's face goes white. She attempts to speak, but her attorney cautions her with a gentle touch on her arm, telling her to remain silent, because sometimes defense is more eloquent than silence. And Christine has to pick her moments carefully. Christine's attorney finally stands up to cross-examine. His tone is biting, incisive. Mrs. Brown, are you claiming Christine made up these texts? Robyn swabs her tears, her head shaking. No, I am saying she meant every word. She wanted the children to think their father was a villain. Christine's attorney moves in closer. And you conveniently omitted that message just prior to that one, where Kody canceled a visit. Isn't it correct that Christine was just reassuring her children after they cried when their father failed to appear? Robyn stiffens, her eyes darting back and forth nervously. That's not what I recall. Christine leans forward, whispering, caught her. The attorney pushes further. Mrs. Brown, you say Christine is manipulative, but didn't you stand to gain the most from attention from Kody? That while children of Christine and Janelle pleaded for his time, yours had him nearly all to themselves. Robyn's voice cracks in defense. That's not my fault. I didn't ask for special treatment. He chose to be there. Her words float there like a guilty admission. And like that, the courtroom changes. Because sometimes truth escapes when feelings boil hotter than constraint. The judge requests a brief recess. Christine jumps up, marching into the hallway with Janelle by her side. Her face is red with rage, her voice husky but angry. She brought those texts out like she's the victim. But she remembers what Kody did. She remembers how he left my girls. And she lied for him. Janelle tightens her grip. Let her play her game. The truth will surface. We just have to hold firm. Christine breathes, holding back tears. If the judge takes her word, I could lose them, Janelle. I can't risk it. Before Christine can answer, Kody moves out into the hallway, his tone slicing. You think you're going to win this? You're killing this family, Christine. You're doing this to us. Christine turns on him, her anger burning. No, Kody, you killed this family the moment you married one wife over the rest. The bailiff moves quickly in between them, before things can heat up further. When recess is over, everyone files back inside. The judge pushes up her glasses, her tone crisp. We will proceed with Mrs. Brown's testimony tomorrow. This court will hear further evidence then. Robyn breathes shakily, holding her folder like it's her shield. Christine waits for her, jaw set, aware that this fight is far from won. The gavel comes down. The session is over, but tomorrow will not only bring more testimony. It will bring a revelation no one in that room is ready to hear. The third day of trial dawns with gray skies. Rainy drops patter on the courthouse's tall windows, a relentless drumbeat that mutes the world outside. Within the courthouse, the atmosphere is more somber than before, heavy with yesterday's accusations. Christine sits in the table, folded hands neatly arranged, but with weary eyes. Janelle leans over, whispering, "Today is the day, Christine. We need to turn the tide." Robyn's testimony rocked the room. But it's not over yet. Christine slowly nods. I just wish the judge could see through it. The other side of the room. Robyn hugs her folder tight, her lips tightly pressed, as if the slightest breath could give her away. Kody sits next to her, his jaw set in granite. He is not nervous. He is furious. All rise. The bailiff bellows. The judge enters. Her eyes scan the room, inscrutable as always. We will continue testimony. Mrs. Brown, you may proceed. Robyn stands up, taking the folder with her. She walks to the stand, her hands shaking slightly as she opens it again. My lawyer and I have additional messages, Your Honor, she says, her voice cracking with exercised fragility. Messages that establish Christine intentionally removed the children from their father. She produces another page. The attorney reads on. It's safer not to hope for him, sweetheart. Then you won't be disappointed when he doesn't arrive. Gasps ripple throughout the courtroom. Christine closes her eyes, the pain crossing her face. She speaks at last. That wasn't me keeping them away from them. That was me keeping them away from being disappointed. And here is the essence of the fight. Is Christine protecting her children or closing them off? Christine's lawyer stands quickly. Your Honor, we'd like to call a new witness to clarify this matter. The judge nods. Proceed. The courtroom door opens. A hush falls as Aspen, Christine's eldest daughter, walks in. She's grown now, confident, but her eyes betray the nerves she feels under the gaze of her father and Robyn. Christine's breath hitches. She had not known if Aspen would be there. Watching her now feels like a blessing and a gamble. Aspen stands up. Her voice trembles first, then becomes firm. I recall those messages. My mom didn't instruct us to hate Dad. She instructed us not to stand at the window, because she didn't want us to be up all night crying when he didn't arrive. She was looking out for us, not poisoning us. The room is charged with emotion. Kody's face flushes. That's not true. He explodes, losing control. Your mother manipulated everything. Aspen faces him, her voice laced with hurt. No, Dad. You manipulated everything. You quit visiting us. You visited Robyn's house. You abandoned us. The courtroom gasps. Christine covers her mouth, her eyes filling with tears. Even Janelle is shaken by the emotion of Aspen's words. The judge thumps her gavel. Order. Order in the court. But the harm is done. The truth, raw and intimate, festers in the air. And when the truth issues from the very mouths of children, it slices more deeply than any legal argument. Kody stands up from his chair, even after the warning of the judge. His face is flushed, his voice loud. You don't get it what I went through. I was thin-stretched, being a husband to 4 women, a father to 18 children. Did I make it easy for myself? His voice breaks for the first time. I gave all I had, and still it wasn't enough. None of you respected me. The courtroom is in shocked silence. Robyn tugs at his arm, murmuring, "Sit down, please." But Kody brushes her off. His rage is pouring out uncontrollably. You all wanted me to be everywhere at once. But when I gave more to Robyn, it was because she was the only one who still believed in me. Christine stands up slowly, her tone steady but biting. Worshipped you, or believed in you. There's a difference, Kody. And the children suffered because of it. The judge bangs her gavel again. Mr. Brown, you will sit down at once, or I will find you in contempt. Kody's face is still angry, his chest pumping with indignation. But he finally sits back down. Moments such as these expose fissures not only in testimony, but in the very heart of the family. Aspen exits the stand, her shoulders weighed. Christine whispers, "Thank you," as her daughter walks by. But Aspen just nods, her eyes moist. The judge calls a short recess to give emotions a chance to subside. The room clears into the hallway. Christine sits against the wall, wiping her tears. He'll never own up to it, not even when the kids say it to his face. Janelle speaks softly, because if he owns up to it, he has to own up that he failed. And Kody Brown will never do that. Robyn shows up at the end of the hall, her face pale. She grasps Christine's arm in a sudden movement. You don't know what you're doing, Christine. If you keep pushing, you'll regret it. Christine jerks her arm away. Is that a threat? Robyn's voice shakes, but her eyes are steely. It's the truth. There are things you don't want the court to hear. Before Christine can say anything, the bailiff calls them back inside. The session concludes with the judge's stern words. Tomorrow we will hear from another pivotal witness, one whose testimony could turn this case on its head. Christine freezes. She has no idea who it will be. But the threat in Robyn's eyes persists like a shadow. Because if there are further secrets Robyn is prepared to reveal, Christine might not be ready for what's in store. The courtroom is chilly this morning. The fluorescent lights are brighter, and even the rustle of papers sounds too loud. Everyone knows today is important. Christine sits beside her attorney, her chest constricted. Janelle speaks softly and asks, Do you think it is? Who is the witness? Christine shakes her head. I have no idea, but Robyn was too sure yesterday. That frightens me. The bailiff demands order. The judge comes in, stern and unyielding. We will continue with testimony. Mr. Brown's attorney, you may continue. Kody's attorney stands up. Your Honor, the defense calls Kody Brown to the stand. Christine's heart sinks. Her daughter. She had not been expecting this. Kody walks in slowly, her face impassive. She spares Christine's gaze as she takes the oath. Christine's mouth dries up. Why would Kody be present? Kody leans in, his eyes shining proudly on his daughter. Robyn folds her hands together in prayer-like gesture. The attorney starts, voice guarded. Kody, in your own words, describe to us your experience with your father over the past few years. Kody pauses, then softly, it wasn't ideal, but I don't believe he left us. He attempted more than people give him credit for. Christine blinks, shocked. Kody goes on. I know Dad spent more time at Robyn's house. That hurt. But, Mom, sometimes you made it worse. You told us not to bother waiting. Sometimes it felt like you gave up on him before he gave up on us. Gasps spread through the room. Christine clutches the table tightly, her knuckles white. This is the greatest betrayal. Christine dreads when love of the children is at odds with their own conflicted allegiances. Christine stands up, tears shining. Kody, sweetie, I never lost hope. I just didn't want to hurt you. Kody glances down. I know you feel that way, but to us you shut the door on him. And when you shut it, we felt like we had to take sides. Kody blinks back a tear, taking his opportunity. Yes, Your Honor. That's what I've been trying to say. I didn't leave. Christine shut me out of my children's lives. Christine's voice cracks, but her attorney steps in immediately. Objection, that is emotional manipulation, not testimony. The judge bangs her gavel. Sustained. The jury will ignore the last remark. Still, the harm is done. Christine's own daughter has sown doubt. And in trials such as this one, doubt is worse than any bald-faced lie. Janelle inclines towards Christine, whispering hotly, don't blow it now. You still have truth on your side. But Christine can hardly catch her breath. Kody's words repeat repeatedly in her head. As questioning goes on, Kody owns up. I love my mom. I always will. But I think sometimes she made choices that cut Dad out, even when we still wanted a chance. Christine's heart feels like it is breaking in the moment. Robyn's attorney leans back, pleased. Kody's eyes shine with insincere victory. When Kody actually does step down, she doesn't glance at Christine, not even once. There is a brief recess called by the judge. In the corridor, Christine leans against the wall, gasping for air. Janelle holds onto her shoulders. She's terrified. Christine, she's in between you and him. That testimony wasn't all the truth. It was coercion. Christine shakes her head. But it did. It was enough to paint me as the villain. Abruptly, a voice pierces the hallway. Mom. Christine turns. It's Ysabel, one of her other daughters, standing in front of her, arms crossed, her face white, but determined. I want to testify, she states. Christine's heart freezes. Ysabel, are you certain? Her daughter nods, her voice shaking but firm. He has to hear the whole truth about what he did to me. Everything. And in that instant, Christine realizes session 5 won't be merely about custody or credibility. It will be about laying bare wounds Kody never wished the world to witness. The courtroom buzzes with subdued expectation. The judge has just come back from recess. And already things are different. Everyone witnessed the way Ysabel entered. Everyone sensed the change. Christine's heart pounds. Her daughter, the one with the most scars, is going to tell truth in a court where deceit has reverberated all week. The judge tweaks her glasses. Miss Brown, are you ready to testify? Ysabel nods, voice soft but firm. Yes, Your Honor. The bailiff walks her over to the witness stand. She raises her hand, takes the oath, and sits down, her hands clenched together in her lap. Christine leans into Janelle and says, she's so brave. I don't know if I could do that at her age. Janelle responds, she shouldn't have to, but perhaps this is the only way. Kody's attorney moves forward first, attempting to keep calm composure. Ysabel, we all understand. This is hard. Can you explain your relationship with your father in the past few years? Ysabel looks over at Kody. His eyes flick away. My dad wasn't there, she states curtly. He wasn't there when I needed him the most. The courtroom lurches, heads tilting forward. Robyn tenses, her nails biting into her palm. Kody's lawyer clears his throat. Be more specific. Ysabel's voice shakes but steadies. When I was getting surgery for my scoliosis, I pleaded with him to come. I cried. I told him how afraid I was. He promised me he would. But he didn't. He stayed with Robyn instead. A low gasp ripples around the gallery. Christine covers her mouth with her hand, tears streaming uncontrollably. This is the sort of testimony jurors never forget. Not cool arguments, but lived sorrow. Kody fidgets restlessly. That is not true, he exclaims, breaking courtroom etiquette. I had reasons. The judge bangs the gavel. Mr. Brown, you will be silent until spoken to. Kody clenches his teeth, his face flushing. Ysabel goes on, tears running down her face. I went into that surgery without my dad. I woke up, and he wasn't there. My mom was. My sisters were. But he wasn't. And I knew that I wasn't important enough to him. Her voice breaks. But she doesn't finish. He says he loves us all the same. But he doesn't. He chose Robyn, over and over, even when I needed him most. Christine is crying quietly now. The jurors look at one another, some of them visibly shaken. Robyn mutters angrily to Kody. Do something. Stop her. But there's nothing he can do, because once truth is spoken with raw pain, it cannot be unsaid. Christine's lawyer stands slowly, her voice soft. Ysabel, thank you for your bravery. I know this is difficult. I want to ask, how did that absence impact you? Ysabel gazes directly into the eyes of the jury, her youthful face creased with lines of maturity, far older than her years. It shattered me. I lost hope that he was ever going to come. I lost faith that he cared. And sometimes, I questioned if I even existed at all. There is no silence at all. The court reporter even pauses for a split second before she types. Christine's attorney nods gently. And today? Why did you decide to testify? Ysabel draws a deep breath. Because I don't want anyone else to think he told the truth. He wasn't a dad to me. My mom did both jobs most of the time. She bore everything. He needs to stop lying. Her words are like a clap of thunder. Christine interlaces her fingers, silently thanking God. Janelle tightens her grip on her arm. The attorney rests her case. No further questions, Your Honor. The judge glances over at Kody's team. Cross-examination. Kody's attorney falters, looking at his client. Kody half sits up, whispering angrily. But the lawyer looks white-faced, trapped between responsibility and image. He clears his throat. Yes, Your Honor. Just a few questions. He moves cautiously forward, words guarded. Ysabel, you've been through a lot, and nobody questions your pain. But, do you feel your father loves you? The courtroom holds its breath. Christine stiffens. Ysabel glances at Kody for the first time. His expression is frozen, begging wordlessly. I think he loves himself more than he ever loved me. She speaks. Gasps run again. Kody bangs his fist on the table. That's enough. The judge bellows. Mr. Brown, one more and I will find you in contempt. The room is in shambles, but Ysabel remains serene now, the truth blazing in her eyes. As court breaks for the day, Christine hurries to Ysabel, hugging her hard. You were amazing. You were truthful. That's all that counts. Christine doesn't miss, however, the sight of Kody storming out, Robyn following him, her face contorted in panic. Janelle grunts. He's falling apart. That testimony destroyed him. Christine shudders, which means tomorrow, he's going to return fighting harder and nastier. She glances over the hushed courtroom, over the jury still murmuring about Ysabel's speech, and she remembers. The next round will not be a matter of family. It will be war.